Hiroshima ain't got nothing on this Lady Liberty.
Oh my God. Oh. Hey out there, all you Jacks and Jills going down the hill. You may have just missed the best joke of the night since we were recording.
We pre-gamed it, and here's the thing: I don't know if I'm going to tell you if you want to know, you got to sign up for our Patreon. We don't have, but we might, one day when more than 6 people listen to the show.
And once we both get fired from our jobs,
sure, which is I think inevitably coming.
Yeah,
but I digress. What have you been up to since the last time we spoke? I hear you had some internet issues.
Yes. Yeah, my internet was out for most of the week, so I actually had to go back into the office for the first time in 3 months.
Terrifying.
Yes. Yeah. Not only that, my boss and his boss were in town, so it was just a lot of, I would spend just hours upon hours in the conference room, and it's just relentless meetings.
Yeah, people, I there is this difference in that kind of work and the simple data entry, or not simple, but because data entry is very complex sometimes, but that job, and then being in this physical place, in this room, talking to people and strategizing and coming to agreements and having arguments, and it's draining in a totally different way.
Yeah.
It's like an energy drain.
Yeah, it's a psychic drain. And these guys, some people really seem to thrive on it.
Right.
My boss and his boss are just more meetings better. Right. And that's probably why they're managers and I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. But I don't know if I have ADD or just a bad case of disrespect, but I usually lose the thread of the conversation a few minutes in and don't get it back until somebody says my name.
And you're yeah, that's good. And they're like,
I'm like, run that by me one more time, or can you rephrase that?
Right. those go-to white-collar phrases whenever you have zoned out of a meeting. Many, many times has that happened to me as well. Sometimes in my own meetings. I would be out of it and just go, someone should be talking here. That someone is me.
I'm in charge of this meeting.
And the CEO is right next to me, and I'm just like, oh.
Your CEO's sitting next to you thinking fuck, man, still waters run deep. He's looking at you, he's drawing it out. He's making him think about it. This guy's a fucking genius.
He's a fucking pro.
I'm a fucking genius for hiring him.
He didn't hire me. I was already there. I'm the taproot of the tree of the place that I work at. I'm at the bottom.
I don't know what's a taproot?
I think it's that first root that comes out of a seed.
Oh.
And it's then you put that in the ground and it grows. I guess I'm the pinnacle is what no, I'm just kidding. I'm not the pinnacle. On an unrelated note to work, because work sucks.
Yes.
Is I think what we need to take away from that conversation.
Agreed.
I've been growing a garden over this quarantine season.
Mm-hmm.
And I traded some of my peaches the other day. Or not peaches. I traded some of my cherry tomatoes for some peaches. I also traded some of my cucumbers for 2 dozen eggs from some lady's backyard chickens.
Wow.
And today I traded some other cherry tomatoes. I had so many cherry tomatoes. And here's the thing. I don't even like cherry tomatoes.
Why would you? They're terrible.
Right. But people like them. And they're easy. Here's the thing. They're easy as fuck to grow. So I've been growing them. I traded that for a cantaloupe today, another couple of bags of cherry tomatoes for a cantaloupe, because my wife was like, I like cantaloupe. And I was like, well, let's get you some fucking cantaloupe. And then I got even more stuff. She gave me a bag full of lettuce and stuff. It was crazy. It's been the craziest gardening season.
where do you go to barter your garden goods?
Oh, I went to Facebook. There's this group called the Arlington Foodies group that I'm a part of.
Oh.
And also, like, the lady that runs the Arlington Foodies group also does a market, like a farmer's market type deal in Pantico. And actually, I think those tomatoes that I traded her are going to be sold tomorrow at that fucking farmer's market.
You should come up with like your own logo, like Daryl's Own or whatever.
Yeah, I think I call my garden the Arlington Field Lab because like I like the idea of it being like this like kind of growing and like I like to do
experimental.
things. Yeah, kind of. I do actually. Like I like it to be nimble enough that like, okay, this doesn't work. Like I don't need to keep this, but like permanent enough that I could use it for a little while until I build something better. Because like right now, like literally my whole garden's in like two or three pallets that I ripped a couple of the boards out of and just like put on the ground and put soil in them. And I was like, grow, baby.
You're doing better than we do. And by we, I mean my in-laws, and they're really good at growing flowers. They seem to have trouble whenever they're trying to grow food for whatever reason. Like they had a blueberry garden that never really took, and some veggies and stuff. But there are also, I'm gonna sound so southern saying this, there are a lot of critters.
No, I get it. I was about to say critters, man. I understand from the South. I get it. Here's the thing that I have found that helps with critters: having a backyard cat or two does wonders to keep the critters out of your. You got to do some collateral damage to that, right? Then they get in your trash and shit. So like,
right.
It's expected. They're backyard dumpster cats, like. But I don't have very many rats, and those cherry tomatoes. I've had so many of them because the squirrels have not eaten. They're like, nah, man, don't mess with that one. Mm-hmm.
There's a cat back there.
There's cats back there. There's a bastard of a cat back there. He had an open wound, Sean. An open wound on his back that was oozing pus after he fought one time.
This cat did?
Yes, and his skin was like, his like fur was like all gone around it. 3 weeks, like a week later, he's fine.
Jesus.
I was like, that cat does have 9 lives, man.
Or it belongs to some mad scientist who just regrows its skin and fur.
Oh, yeah, the Arlington Cat Field Lab. I know that guy. Ben's a good guy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
His name's Reggie.
I know. Ben would never do that.
Yeah. All right. But so we have a dog, and he loves to bark and run about, and we kind of let him have the run of the property because we got 7 acres, sure. And he's well behaved enough. He never runs away. He runs off a little and then comes back, but doesn't seem to be able to stop. I think there's just too many critters for him to police in that area. Like I think it was maybe last Friday or Friday before last. So the front door of the house is actually on the second floor. The basement and the garage are the first floor. So we have this sloping driveway, and he'll just rocket down it. And last Friday, he comes running out the front door, rockets down the driveway, and then tries to climb the bird feeder, which is kind of up on this wooden pole that my father-in-law put together. And I shine the light up there, and there's a baby raccoon just clinging to the top of the bird feeder, looking terrified. It was
like, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, just being perfectly still. Like I didn't even, and I don't know if he wasn't even barking at it at that point. I think he just was curious about it. Like, what the fuck are you?
He's like, I don't know what this is, and why is it up there like that? Guys, can someone explain?
Is that a cat?
Confirmation. Confirmation on a cat. I wish your dog were that tactical.
Yeah, well, he's not though.
I wish he were too, but he's not.
Yeah, he's such a disappointment.
Well, but he's a fun-loving. I mean, he's a good dude. Like that's like he's a good dude.
Yeah, that's true. He's never pooped inside, not once. We've had him 6 years.
I mean, look at that. I can't tell you how many times my dogs shit in the house. I
can't tell you how many times I've shit in the house.
Yeah, like at least 7.5.
Yeah. I mean,
what's
I assume most of it
shit?
happened before I was 2. Half a shit. I guess that's where like you have more of just like a spray.
Okay, I could.
No, that's like double shit. Actually, I'm gonna say. I think half a shit is like where you have to squeeze really hard and you're really working it, and then you look in the bowl and it's just like a tiny little nug.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I think that's half a shit. You're like, that wasn't even worth my time. Like, what was I even doing here? I don't feel any of the relief that I thought I was going to. So fuck this. And you leave angry, right? Like it's an angry, it's an angry shit as well.
Yeah, an angry half shit.
Angry half shit. That's a good name for a punk band, actually. The Angry Half Shits.
Yeah. And usually I leave the bathroom feeling pretty good about myself. I'm like, got something done in there. Got some good work done.
But not then.
No, then I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, I know I'm gonna be back.
Okay, you know that there's a repeat trip in your future, but also you are very mad that like you wasted all of this time because at our age, I understand life is finite. Like I really want to be out there doing cool shit or something I love, not taking an angry half shit. Just want to grow cherry tomatoes, man. Jesus.
That's true, and you ain't gonna fertilize shit with a half shit.
You're not, man. Ugh. Don't even get me worked up about fertilization.
What if those instead of making no sound when they go down the toilet, what if it sounded like you were flushing rocks?
I assume I've never flushed a rock. I don't know what it sounds like.
Well, did you ever throw rocks down a slide when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Like a metal slide? I assume it would sound kind of like that, just like a...
Yeah, okay. I could see that.
But you'd have to have a lot of half shits in there. I hope none of our listeners are eating lunch while they listen to this.
And if you are, I'm half sorry. I'm just kidding.
Half angry, half sorry.
I really am sorry. We can change the subject. I actually have a sponsor. The sponsor's gonna come pretty early, I think, in the show.
Okay.
So I got on tour. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't have to get on tour for this, but I did get some Dash Coin. It's like another cryptocurrency. I got a lot of that, so that's cool. So we got paid with that that way. It's believe this or not someone that it's their store. It's not going to be this.
It's not a business named after the owner.
Yes, I know we've had a lot of those. This is for a product they're calling Animals with a Z, Crackers with a Z. And like you know what animal crackers are, right? Like cute little animals. Well, you got the elephant, you got the. So like they have those too, but like the meat and there's like meat in the middle, and it's like of the animal. Yeah, so it's like
like you can get a little bite of elephant.
Yeah, or like a camel, or like a koala, or something like that.
Oh my god, that's gonna be so illegal. It's like a rich person's like delicacy. It's like caviar.
Yeah. You can only get it at like Whole Foods and stuff. Like, it's just
you see a bunch of Karens lining up to buy them for their kids.
Yeah, they fucking love them. Because it's like it's kind of like they have like a place that manufactures them. There's kind of no laws, so like that's how they get around it. I don't know how they get around the importing. I think they say it's like imitation or something like that. But
right, the Z is meant to imply that it's synthetic meat, that it's spam.
Yeah, but come on.
Nobody who pays in DoorDash would lie.
And no one
not DoorDash, Dash Coin. Sorry.
Right, it's Dash Coin. They also paid.
It was a gift card to DoorDash.
Right, yeah. There was also a 10 for you and 10 for me, so not very much.
You can have mine because honestly, nobody will deliver to me out here in the woods.
All right. Well, I'll tell this mysterious benefactor, the
Mr.
proprietor of Animals Crackers. So yeah, that's.